Hello everybody, thanks for tuning in to another video on the Drunken Hubby. Before we get any further, I'd like to ask you to hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell notification so you know when I drop more content, and hit the little thumbs up so the YouTube algorithm can give us a hand and let more people see us. Alright, so without any further ado, this week I'm going to try something called Amaretto. The brand is called Disaronno. So I'm about to try this out. This is a liqueur, so I'm going to assume this is supposed to be sweet. Before I go any further, I just want to put a disclaimer. I am not sponsored by any of these brands. None of the brands before this video and up to the time of the recording of this video, I am not sponsored by any of those brands, okay? Now, let's get to it. So, this ran about $23 at the ABC store. This is the 5th. They had some smaller and some bigger. I guess it just depends on how much you want. Let's crack it open. Oh, that smells good. It smells like cherries and pecans. Oh, I bet this is gonna be so good. All right. Oh yeah, it smells so good. I could just drink this up. I guess that's a caramel color. It smells like cherries, like a cherry pie and a pecan pie mixed in one. All right, let's see how it is. It's sweet, but it's strong. Excuse me. I like this one. Yeah, that tastes like cherries and pecan. I like this. It's smooth. It doesn't burn a lot going down. Let's see what its proof is. So it's not giving a proof. It says 28% alcohol by volume. So I wonder what that is. I can find out later, I suppose. It's really good. Whew. I guess that would go good with some desserts. Now I want some pecan pie. I don't know about the rest of y'all. I love a good pie. Second favorite dessert of all time is pie. Well, first favorite is going to be ice cream. I mean, who doesn't love ice cream, right? But hot slice pecan pie with a scoop of vanilla ice cream on the side. Man, are you kidding me? That's some good eating. But my all-time favorite pie would probably have to be banana cream pie. It's like eating two really good desserts, banana pudding and pie. Anyway, dessert jokes aside, let's talk about something a little bit more serious. So we see all this stuff going on in the news But all these things going on across the world, people spreading hate and discord, chaos. One of the main things that is the root of the problems that we have right now are our elected leaders choose to put greed ahead of basic human rights and basic human needs. And it's not just them. It's the corporations that are selling the products that we use and need, that provide the jobs that we need just to be able to eat and pay our bills. They're making enough money to continually pay their CEO on average thousands of dollars per hour. Thousands per hour. Excuse me. No one needs that much money. Now, I'm not going to say that their work isn't hard, but at the same time, you're making money off of the backs of other people, of hard labor. Just because you're in a position of more authority, okay, yeah, give them a little bit more money, they have more responsibility. But don't go and say that that other person's job doesn't deserve to be paid a good salary that they can live off of just because they don't have the same amount of responsibility. You need to take into consideration how much it actually costs to live nowadays. Take this into consideration, okay? For everyone out there that's making really, really good money. Most people rent their homes, okay? And they have to make car payments, those enough that are lucky enough to even get that far. Or they have to pay something weekly or monthly for transportation. So let's start with the basics, all right? Basic human needs on a monthly overhead. The average rent for an apartment or a house is going to run about $600 or $700, and that is in the dicey neighborhoods, not the nice neighborhoods. If you're looking to rent in a nice neighborhood, you're going to be looking to pay over $1,000 a month. Now, I ask you this: who making $7.50 an hour, working for a company that only gives them 20, maybe 30 hours a week, can afford to pay that? They can't. Now, watch this. So then you add to that, there's their rent, so they've got their roof overhead. They still have to pay utilities. So let's just bundle water and electric into one. Let's say they're savvy, right? And they're good at saving their energy and all that stuff. They can keep their bill at around, the cheapest I've seen here in High Point is about $180 a month. Because you got rain tax, sewage fees, garbage fees, water and electric all rolled into one. And so you got, let's say, $600 rent, $180 in utilities, so that's $780 right there just to have a roof and lights on. Okay? $750 isn't going to cover all of that, not unless they get 2 jobs. But then I ask you, if a person's working 2 jobs and all of their money is going just to survive, right? Because he has to eat. They're not getting anything to put aside to save up to get ahead in life. They're not literally not having a life because they're spending all of their time working. So you've got so many people out here working 2, 3 jobs just to make ends meet, not getting ahead anywhere. In my opinion, that's a form of slavery. If you're only paying people just enough so they can barely survive, that's slavery. I've heard all these comments and arguments. Well, raising the minimum wage isn't exactly a good thing. It's not good for the economy, blah, blah, blah. Shut up. The people that are saying that, for the most part, are the greedy ones who just don't want to pay more. They don't want something to come out of their pocket. These people have 2 and 3 houses, 9 and 10 cars, fly planes every day. But let me break it down like this. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, minimum wage went up to $15 an hour. Now let's say companies were kept from being able to give an employee less than 30 hours a week, right? Everyone says, there's going to be so many people without jobs, blah, blah, blah. Not necessarily so. Because this is what's going to happen. You'll have people being able to start making enough to live off of. They'll only decide to have one job instead of killing themselves with 2 and 3. Okay? So it's more people only working one job, which means there'll be more job openings for other people that don't have jobs. So you're going to run into lower unemployment rates, right? Now, here's the other thing that's going to happen. People making enough money to actually live off of. That's more money being spent. Because people actually have the money to spend. Right? So that means what? The economy will start building back up. It'll start going back up and becoming stronger. You can't expect a strong economy if nobody has any money to spend. Come on, man. Instead of thinking with your greed, think with logic, man. I have some more of this. This is good. Don't judge me. It's definitely not 80 proof, though. Oh man, that's so good. I recommend this one. I'm gonna give that one a 5-star. Yeah. But I lost my track. Alright, so everyone's talking about they need the economy to improve. They need the economy to improve. Okay, I can agree with that. But some of you greedy people out here need to unclench your fists on them dollars. And be a little loose, just a little bit, so that your employers can actually have more of a life. They can have a little bit easier time living. So imagine the morale and the production rate from your company if everyone can actually not just live on what you pay them, but thrive off of what you pay them. Yeah? They won't have financial worries. They're not going to worry about which bill am I have to skip this month so I can pay the other one. Am I going to be able to have enough food to eat this week? Am I going to be able to pay my car note? Am I going to have enough to pay all of my rent? Right now, on today's wages, that's what people are facing. Those that are only lucky enough to have one job. But then you have others that are working 2 and 3 jobs. They're not living a life. They're barely surviving. They have no life to go live because they're spending all of their time working. That's not a life. That's misery. So come on, man. Pay people your production, your backbone. You know, the people that without them, you'd be stuck doing that work yourself, and there you'd have no production, you'd have no company. Pay them what they're worth. They're worth more than subpar wages. And I say subpar is if I can't live off of my check week to week, then it's subpar. If I can't slowly get ahead and eventually retire while I'm young enough to enjoy what's left of my life, then it's not enough. You already make enough. You can retire right now if you wanted to, if you weren't greedy. But you can't take the money with you when you die. Do something good. Get some good karma points. Pay your production, your backbone, your laborers, pay them enough to live. I'm not talking about barely live. I'm talking about enough to actually live. They can pay their car note. They can pay their house or mortgage. They can pay their electricity and gas. They can put food on the table and still put something in the bank for later. And take the family out to dinner once in a while. Is that really too much to ask? Seriously? Whatever happened to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness? The whole point of anyone getting a job is not merely just to survive and make ends meet. We want our ends to overlap. We want to have plenty, not scarcity. We don't want to be able to just survive and wonder what's going to happen the next week or the next month or the next year. I can guarantee you, for those that actually want to work and make some money and make something of their life, you'll have a very extremely high morale. There won't be people complaining about coming into work. You'll have a higher production rate. You don't have to work your employees like dogs. Just pay them well. You pay them well, they'll work well, I promise. You have to give them some trust. Now, granted, I admit you've got some employees out there, they're not concerned about the company's welfare. They just want to check. They just want to come in, they want to do their job and get out and go home. And that's understandable with some jobs, because some labor jobs, and let's not forget, this country is built on labor. There's a lot of labor jobs out there nobody really wants to do. They come in and do what they have to do so they can pay their rent, pay their bills, and put food on the table. Well, all I'm saying is, what if you paid them just a little bit more? So instead of them having to worry, you take that worry away from them. All they have to do is come in and they work and give you good production, and they're paid well. That's all I'm saying. You worried about keeping the economy strong? The economy starts with America's laborers. Labor, that's from flipping burgers and putting food on your plate, to building your furniture, to building the bus seats, building cars, construction, stocking shelves, all of that is labor. If you're physically having to do the work and you're not driving a desk, that's labor. At least that's physical labor. I've never done a desk job, so I can't speak on those that drive desks. But from something my brother told me, it's mental work. It's just as stressful and just as hard in different ways. So no matter how you slice it, the people that are under you, that your success, it depends on them doing their jobs, pay them right. Pay them well. Pay them at least enough to live off of. It's not going to kill you. It'll give people more money to spend. At the end of the day, that's what it's supposed to be all about in capitalism, right? So everyone wants to have more money to spend. That's what keeps making the economy go around. So I want to give a little bit of my experience, past 20 years of labor. Yep, I'm one of those, straight out of high school, straight into labor. Right off the bat, I started in a warehouse. This is fresh out of high school anyway. Excuse me. No, matter of fact, very first job that I can remember doing, I was in high school, working on computers. And at the time it was my job, between building the new desktop computers and back in the late 90s, those are dinosaurs compared to what we have now. But anyway, so I had to do that. I had to sit and organize graphic pictures according to file types. And that was a daunting task. Imagine having to sort through thousands of different files and you had to name each one separately at the time. I was getting paid $4.25 an hour for that. Yeah, that's what minimum wage was at the time. $4.25. Now, fast forward a few years, working through a temp agency at a place called A&A Global. They did some shady crap. But anyway, the job that I was tasked with, among a few others, was to hang heavy pieces of metal. I'm not sure what they were, I just knew they were going to vehicles. But you hang them on these chains that were going around, going through this chamber to be powder coated and baked on and stuff like that. Some of them pieces weighed about 110, 120 pounds. I was still getting minimum wage at this time. $6.25 an hour. No, I'm sorry, $6.15 an hour. Yeah. Later found out it was a DOD job. It was a DOD contract. I was supposed to have been getting paid a lot more than that. But nope. There we come into greed again. So then there was another one a few years back. 10-hour shifts, 5 days a week. Or I had to dig through garbage, giant piles of garbage, to pull out chunks of cardboard and throw it in a separate pile. It was hot, there was no air conditioning, and it stank really bad. I was getting paid minimum wage, $7.25 an hour. Yeah. Well, I found out that they were getting paid thousands of dollars per bale of cardboard. we were pulling probably about a good 80 to 90 bales a day, 10-hour shifts, 5 days a week. So I think it was average $3,000 a bale. 10 bales, 30,000 a day times 5. You do the math. But we're getting paid minimum wage. You see? You can afford to pay us a little bit more. But it comes down to greed. Only point I'm trying to make is, I'm speaking through experience from the laborer side. We're the ones that we do the trash jobs no one else wants to dirty their hands with. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Or just... I'm about to get into something political here. Forgive me. You have too many Americans, especially white Americans, decide they don't want to do this job and they don't want to do that job. But at the same time, they don't want foreigners coming in here and taking our jobs. Hey, dummy! They're taking the jobs because people like you don't want to do them. Come on, man. You can't have it both ways. Oh, we'll have someone else do it. Who? Huh? The only ones willing to take the jobs are the foreigners that are trying to get away from where they're at to come into a better life here in America. Let me break something down to you. Maybe this will put you in perspective, yeah? Yeah, the wage crisis here in America, it sucks. But compared to some other people in the world, we are blessed. In my fiance's country, in the Philippines, she tells me the average pay over there, there's no minimum wage. They're not blessed with that. The average pay over there is about $10 a day, 10 of our dollars per day. So that's what, $300 a month? The average bills over there, your overhead, to live in a somewhat decent... The average bills over there, monthly overhead, is about $250. Yeah. It's your rent, it's your water, and it's your electric. That's nothing else. That's not including food. It's not including internet and cable or any of that mess. That's just basic necessities. The only thing I'm trying to do is drive home a point. This is the United States of America. This is supposed to be the land of opportunity, the land of the free. We're free to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Yeah? Okay. Well, part of that is you need money to do that. We can't do that if the people that hold all the money won't pay enough for us to do that. Alright everybody, that's going to wrap it up for this video. I've got other things I got to go and handle and do. I thank you for watching, and I again ask you to hit that subscribe button and that like button. Help me go viral, share my videos, drop some comments down below. Excuse me, tell me what you want to see me drink on next, see what you want to hear me talk about. I'll engage you in the comments. Just go ahead and talk to me. I won't bite hard. I'm just kidding. Anyway, alright y'all, I'll see y'all later. Bye.